It's Fernando Ruiz Art.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and happy Easter. It is Easter Sunday as I record this. Now, in this episode, it's been a while since I've done one of my show and tell episodes. So I thought this being Easter and a special rare Sunday night edition of the channel, I thought I'd go through a few pieces that I've done. Also, relating to this, we are now entering the final week of the Die Kitty Die Starstruck Kickstarter campaign by myself and my Die Kitty Die co-creator Dan Parent. The Kickstarter has been going like gangbusters. We've been doing really well. We've been very lucky. Thank you very much for everyone who has supported us. You know, it's cliched to say, but it's true nonetheless. We cannot do this without you. We literally cannot do this without you. That's what crowdfunding is all about. You know, these uncertain days where distribution of comics is kind of up in the air, and comic stores are many of them are not allowed to open. Many of them might be going away after the current crisis going on. But in these days, crowdfunding is really a good alternative for those of us looking for our comics, because you know you're helping the creator directly. You know, there's no publisher involved. There's no distributor involved. There's no retailer involved. It is you are paying the creator directly. You're supporting the creator. He's getting all of your money, minus his expenses. So really is a great system, and we've been fortunate. Thanks to the loyalty and generosity of all the Die Kitty Die fans. We've been able to do this. Now this is our fourth one. So this weekend, we've had a theme, and longtime Archie fans will know exactly what we're talking about here. The classic 3 on a straw composition. That's been a classic composition that Archie has used over and over again many times in their 80 years. And usually you have Archie sharing a soda with both Betty and Veronica on either side. And it's a perfect little arrangement because it really totally encompasses the Archie formula. So what Dan and I did this weekend is we drew a few variations on three on a straw. And they're all available on our Kickstarter campaign, which I'll be linking to in the description below. So please check us out. But they'll be available. They're available for purchase, and also Dan and I are available for if you have a 3 on a straw formula of your own. If there's a character combination you'd like to see, by all means, let us know. We'd be happy to take it on, of course. So the first one we're looking at is very obviously Kitty herself, Kitty Ravencraft, our main character from Die Kitty Die. And she's being flanked on her left by Dippy the Dead Kid, and on her right by Little Satan. And the three of them are sharing a soda. So I penciled this, inked this, and I colored it with a combination of Copic markers and my beloved chart pack markers. Now, let me turn this one so we can see it a little better. Now, speaking of Archie, here is a classic 3 on a straw situation. But rather than focusing on Archie, I chose to put Jughead in the center. And Jughead isn't really about sharing. So we have Jughead with Betty and Veronica on either side of him. And this also, Copic markers with some chart pack. Now here, of course, if there's anybody who is really tailor made for the three on a straw arrangement, it's Spider-Man, with probably his two best known romantic interests. That is the beautiful, tragically fated Gwen Stacy on the left there, and then on the right there is the beautiful Mary Jane Watson with Spidey in the middle. Even though these are probably his best known romantic interests, and I answered this on one of my Facebook fan pages that I'm a member of. And somebody asked, like, who do you see as like Spider-Man's main romantic interest? For me, it was Betty Brant. And I know that's probably like an odd choice in this day and age after a good 40 years of Gwen and Mary Jane, but a lot of my early Spider-Man comic book reading were the reprints of the early Spider-Man comics, the early issues of Amazing Spider-Man, where his main love interest was Betty Brant. There was a little bit with Liz Allen, a classmate of his, but really Betty Brant was his first real girlfriend in the comics. And even before that, my first exposure to Spider-Man was the 1967 Spider-Man cartoon. And she wasn't so much of a romantic interest, but she was the only female presence on the show, aside from Aunt May, I guess. But the Betty Brant was the girl in that series. So to me, Betty Brant was Spidey's Lois Lane. It wasn't, until reading the more modern comics that, I would get to meet Mary Jane and come to know Gwen, of course. And Gwen, of course, she's got a tremendous role in the Spider-Man mythology. Probably after all these years, her biggest role is being Spidey's dead girlfriend. But okay, so there's that one. Now, longtime followers of my work on Facebook and Instagram will know what a big Legion of Superheroes fan I am. This one doesn't so much have any romantic connotation, well, except for Lightning Lad and Saturn Girl, but it's just a good trio to put on a straw. So we have the three Legion founders. Lightning Lad on the left there, Saturn Girl in the middle, and Cosmic Boy on the right there. So this was totally an indulgence, because, well, I'm a fan of the characters, and I've got them in my favorite versions of their outfits. In fact, Lightning Lad's costume, which I guess was designed by Dave Cockrum. Probably one of my favorite DC costume designs. The colors, the lines. It's one of those designs that I look at the character these days and I say, why don't they just have him in that? And it's also one of those designs that contemporary artists just can't resist cluttering, putting giving it seams and bits of armor and lines where no lines are needed, and a belt where no belt is needed. Just leave it alone. You're not going to improve on Cockrum. So the Legion founders, personal favorites of mine. Now here's a real indulgence. Who remembers Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends? That was a favorite cartoon of mine when I was a kid. We're going back to about 81, 82, I think, when it was on the air. And I loved it. I'd already been a big Spider-Man fan, but this was now the cartoon that introduced me to Iceman and, by extension, also the X-Men. And one of the fun things about Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends is that it was loaded with guest stars. So the X-Men made numerous appearances. Captain America was there a couple of times. Hulk, Thor, lots of characters ended up turning up on that cartoon. So it was a lot of fun just to see who would show up. So it's a personal favorite of mine. Again, you have a trio, and it just seemed like a natural to me. So those are 5 3-on-a-straw sketches that I've made. All 5, I believe, are still available on the Kickstarter campaign. So if any of these were of interest to you, please let us know. Please go to the campaign, pledge, and add them on, and let us know which ones you're taking. Okay. In addition to 3-on-a-straw, we're also always taking campaign commissions via the campaign. So this is a commission I'm working on, and this is for a good friend of mine, the Gene Lantern himself, Gene Cahill, who is probably one of the biggest Iron Man fans that I know of. And Gene's very particular in his taste. He's very specific. He likes the famous rivet-headed, rivet-faced Iron Man. So, and according to Gene, this may well be the first time rivet-faced Iron Man has ever been commissioned. So if anybody out there has ever heard of a rivet-faced Iron Man commission, let me know. I'd like to see what kind of competition I'm up against, or if I'm really making history with this one. So we're available for any commissions that you guys are interested in, whether it's 3-on-a-straw or a favorite character or something you'd like drawn. Please let us know. We'd be happy. Just pledge, and we'll be happy to put you on our list and draw whatever you like. So. Continuing on, now I have one more piece of art to show, and this is a page from one of our most recent stretch goals that we've been able to make, and that is the Die Kitty Die fashion book. So, the fashion pages and pinups are classic to the Archie Comics comic books, especially the Betty and Veronica ones. So of course we have to give those a shot. We're gonna do those with our own Die Kitty Die take on them. So this page, for example, is superhero fashions. So we will be parodying some well-known characters on this page, and this is drawn by me. It's in the process of being inked. So maybe as keep watching my Facebook and Instagram pages, and I'll certainly be posting this one as I progress on it. So that is everything I've got to show you guys this time around. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of some of my recent pieces. I hope you guys. I hope this inspires you. I hope you guys will check out the campaign. Like I said, I think we're under 9 days now, so we're closing in on that final week. There's still some stretch goals we'd like to make. So please, if you haven't supported us already, please support us. And in addition to that, thanks for supporting the channel. We're doing good. We keep adding new subscribers every day, so this has become like a daily thing. So I really appreciate that. As always, please click like, and share questions, comments in the comments section below. All right, thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Easter, and I will see you very soon. Bye-bye. Keep drawing.